Today, we're going to dive into a really smart way to build an e-commerce business that can reach customers all over the world. We're talking about dropshipping, and we'll focus on a great example, shipping from India to France. We're going to break down exactly how it works, step by step. So, have you ever had that spark of an idea? Picturing yourself running an online store, selling cool, unique products to people thousands of miles away, and doing it all from your laptop? It's an amazing dream, but for a lot of us, it feels like that's all it is, just a dream. Because, right, as soon as you start thinking about it, the reality check hits. You think about the piles of cash you need up front, the nightmare of renting a warehouse, trying to manage all that inventory, and, oh boy, the headache of international shipping. These are the kinds of things that can stop a great idea dead in its tracks. But what if you could just sidestep all of that? Well, you can. That's the magic of dropshipping. It's a business model where you, the person with the online store, don't actually keep any products in stock. Instead, when you make a sale, you partner with a supplier, say one in India, and they ship the product directly to your customer in France. To put it simply, you run the cool storefront and they handle the warehouse. The whole thing really boils down to 5 super simple steps. 1, you pick some cool products and list them on your website. 2, a customer in France sees something they love and buys it. 3, you take their payment, turn around, and place that same order with your supplier in India. 4, the supplier does all the heavy lifting. They pack it up and ship it straight to your customer. And 5, the best part, you keep the profit, which is just the difference between what your customer paid you and what you paid the supplier. It's honestly that straightforward. Okay, so the idea makes sense, but how do you actually get this off the ground? Let's walk through your launch plan, and we'll start with the 2 most important steps for laying a solid foundation. Step 1 is all about doing your homework. You can't just guess what people in France want to buy. You've got to find products that are already in high demand. Things like clothing for women, men, and kids are often a really strong place to start. And you don't need fancy tools. You can use free stuff like Google Trends to see what's popular, and just browse big French online stores for a little inspiration. Now, for what is, and I'm not exaggerating here, probably the single most important decision you'll make, finding a great supplier. This person isn't just a vendor. They're your partner. Your entire brand's reputation rests on the quality of their products and how fast they ship. So you have to do your due diligence. Use platforms that check out their suppliers, spend real time reading reviews, and make sure you can communicate clearly with them right from the get-go. So you've done your research, you've got a potential supplier lined up. Now it's time for the fun part, actually building your business. This next phase is all about making it happen, setting up shop, figuring out the shipping, and, of course, finding customers. Step 3 is creating your digital home, your online store. And don't worry, you don't need to be some coding genius. Platforms like Shopify or WooCommerce make this super easy. The real key here is to make it your own. Give it a unique brand feel. And maybe most importantly, write product descriptions that don't just list facts, but actually get someone excited to click that buy button. All right, let's talk about getting that package all the way from India to France. Your supplier does the packing, but you need to make sure they're using a reliable shipper, like a DHL or a FedEx. And here's a pro tip. Think about your shipping policies. Offering things like free shipping or faster delivery can be a total game changer for keeping customers happy and coming back for more. And finally, once your store is up and running, you need people to find it. That means you got to get into marketing, using social media, maybe working with some influencers, and making your site easy to find on Google. But it doesn't stop there. Growing your business is all about paying attention to what's selling, listening to what your customers are saying, and then using that info to add new and exciting products. So, we've covered the how, but let's just circle back for a second to the why. What is it about dropshipping that makes it such a powerful and honestly such an appealing model, especially if you're just starting out? Remember all those roadblocks we talked about in the beginning? Well, this is where dropshipping just knocks them all down. You don't manage inventory, so you don't need a warehouse. The startup costs are incredibly low, which means pretty much anyone can give it a shot. You can offer a massive range of products without buying them first. You can sell to people in France from day one, and you can run the whole show from literally anywhere you can get an internet connection. And when I say a wide range of products, that's kind of an understatement. To give you some perspective, some of the platforms that connect you with Indian suppliers have catalogs with over 1 million different items. I mean, just think about that. That's an incredible amount of choice and flexibility you have as a store owner. Okay, I'm sure by this point, a few questions are popping into your head. The idea is exciting for sure, but there are always those practical little details. So let's just tackle a couple of the most common ones right now. First up, let's get the big one out of the way, because you have to get this right. is this whole business model even legal in a country like France? And the answer is a very clear yes. It's totally legal. All you're doing is helping connect people with items they want to buy. Now, the crucial thing to remember is that you are still responsible for what you sell. So you absolutely must steer clear of copyrighted stuff you don't have the rights to, and obviously stay away from restricted things like weapons. Common sense, really. All right, next up is the money question. Can you actually get a business like this started if you don't have a ton of cash lying around? Absolutely, and honestly, this is one of the biggest reasons people love dropshipping. Your main costs aren't thousands of dollars in products sitting in boxes. Instead, your budget goes toward things like your website subscription and, of course, your marketing to let people know you exist. It's one of the most affordable ways to get into business. So the last piece of this whole puzzle is, well, who helps you do all this? Where do you go to find these suppliers and get everything connected? Let's take a quick look at some of the platforms that are out there to help you get started. This should give you a fantastic starting point for your own research. You've got these huge B2B marketplaces like IndiaMart, which is a giant in India. Then there are specialized platforms like Soulfru, which is great if you're into fashion. You've probably heard of AliExpress, a massive marketplace. And then you have these integrator platforms like Spocket or Wholesale2B, which are designed to plug right into your Shopify store and make the whole process almost automatic. So there you have it. We've gone over the model, the step-by-step plan, all the benefits, and even the tools you can use to get started. The path to building that global online store you've been dreaming about is honestly clearer and more accessible than it has ever been. So the only real question left is, what are you going to sell first?